Hey guys, I'm super excited to be here. Holy moly! So this is my first live that I'm actually streaming through YouTube. Usually I do this through Zoom because it's easier format and compatibility for what I do. I did not know that the camera was quite so wide, panoramic, and you got to see so much stuff of my room. Wowzers. Okay, way to start the live. Complete transparency. So, I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name's Elizabeth, and I am with Willow Tarot. Today, I'd like to talk to you about shuffling, and this can be used for poker playing, tarot reading, or looking at oracle cards. Whatever deck you have in your hand, you can shuffle, and you can do so in any way that you want because there are no. Let's stick with the metaphysical modalities because there is a certain way to shuffle in poker, but for metaphysics, you can shuffle however you want. I'm going to stick to tarot and oracle because those are the modalities that I currently employ. Grab whatever deck you would like. If you would like to physically join in, if not, you're fine to do it however you'd like. I have Trust Your Vibes Oracle on the top of my deck right there. I read live throughout the week, guys. You can find me over on Meetup. You will find these links. Oh, shoot. You'll find these links in the description if I remember to go back and add them because I'm using a new description today and I forgot to edit in my links. But if you would like more of this, you can go to meetup.com, and from there you will find me, Willow Tarot. I also run Dallas Tarot Club. You don't need to live in Dallas to come to Dallas Tarot Club. All of my events are online, and all of my events are free. I do group reads to the live audience, which you can also find here on YouTube. I also offer on Thursdays, we read for each other. So if you'd like to come and practice or just observe, you can hear readers reading in real time and maybe have a question answered. You can have a question answered even if you don't read. It's fine. It's really just based on time. It's going to be dependent on how many people are in the room. Again, that's on Meetup. If you're in my Meetup room, we can do it that way. And I don't record that session because it can get a little private. And then on Saturdays, I host every Saturday. But those, sometimes those come up on YouTube. It just depends on what we're doing because I run mediumship courses, and I don't always record those depending on what we're doing. Right now, we are recording them, and I am putting them out. But on those occasions when we move into mediumship, where we are reading and we're bringing spirits through or joining them through the veil, I most likely will not be recording, and that's when you're going to want to be live with me in the meetup room if you're interested. All right, so we're talking about shuffling today. Oh, we're going to include a card read. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I'm very excited. So we are going to do all of this around a card read. Yay! Grab that deck. It can be tarot, it can be oracle, it can be Lenormand, it can be Kipper, it can be the deck that you created. Can you see the reflective value? This card is called continuity. Actually, it's called continuation. Sorry. Continuation. It's a 10-card deck. I'm thinking it's actually, I did make 10 cards, but I think it's an 8-card deck, and those 2 are for the next deck I make. I just realized I probably need to have my mic closer because I hope you were hearing me the whole time. So guys, what we're going to do is talk about shuffling, and we're going to have a deck in our hands, or I am, and this is a real reading. So I get the deck out of the box. These are suggestions. This is just how I do it and how I'm doing it today in this moment. I read my decks differently depending on the deck, depending on the situation. I'm sorry, shuffle them differently, especially depending on the deck. Because do I have it in front of me? Kim Cran's, her archetype deck is sticky and it's round. I love it. I read with it a lot. I read with it often. But I put that deck is my example of mixing it up because I put that on my bed and I mix it up. Like sometimes, like when I'm sitting here and I'm in a live and I'm going to read with that deck, I'm just very careful to shuffle it through. And I've had it for years, so it's shuffling easier now. But it's just a little awkward to shuffle. They're slightly larger cards. They're really great. I like the deck a lot. I like the way it reads. But for shuffling, that one I actually put on my bed and I mix it all around. Pull it back together and go from there. Cut it and go. Because it's easier to do it that way. A lot of decks, for me, I overhand, which is just this. Now, I will tell you that when I shuffle, I am considering that I read most of my decks are upright. When I practice mediumship, I do use reversals, and there's a few decks that I will read with reversals. It's rare. Now, in saying that, so we are talking about shuffling, but other topics will come up like reversals. You don't need to use reversals. If you like reversals, use them. I did not learn to read reversals immediately because I wanted to just get a handle on what tarot was. And then I learned to read reversals, and I read with reversals, meaning that the card was literally upside down. And then I thought, I can't see shit when I do that. If I turn this card right side up, I can see the images and I can give a much better reading. That still means I'm reading reversals. They're just not physically inverted. So you can read reversals with your cards upright. It's totally you. You do you. Do what makes you comfortable. You're reading. This is your gift. You're exploring. This is your inner world. You are the only navigator there. You are the sole cartographer and the only author of the book. Work it. So let's shuffle. So these, I want to show you how I'm holding my cards. Because they're upright, because I'm going to shuffle them upright. Isn't that so pretty? I pulled this one yesterday. If you watch my live from yesterday, you'll see me do this card. So just watch what I'm doing, so I don't know how to make words for this. See how I'm going to pull it back towards me? And I'm not doing anything special, right? Because I made sure that the cards, so when I'm looking at the cards, they're actually upside down. Can y'all get this? My brain doesn't flip shit like this for me, so I'm spelling it out. So I don't know if y'all's brains are working good, great. So you know why I do that? Because I read uprights, right? Well, my cards are always upright, but I do reversals. Now watch this. This is just an example, so I'm not too worried about it. Look at that purple on the edging. Ooh! Look at that pink. So I don't know if I did or not. I'm gonna cut the deck, and then when I go to pull my card, it's always upright. Watch it go upside down. It's always up. Greenwich. It's always upright. It's just easier for me. Why is my camera? Oh, is my camera dirty? It's a shadow. No, I don't know. I think my camera's dirty. I think my dirty. Okay, bear with me. It's alive. So bear with me. Otter with me. Bird with me. Greenwich. I do like this card. So anyway, we're talking about shuffling now. So we have that. We have the overhand method, just like this. It really is going to be the size and the shape of your cards and your personal preference. You could throw them up in the air and let them land several times. The thing is, when you're shuffling, think about what you're doing to your cards. I do. If I throw my cards up and they land on the ground, they're probably going to land in dog piss because my dogs came back. Sometimes. They're getting better. But something like that. I have literally lost decks to my pig pissing all over my decks. So just be careful where you store them too. If they're really low, your pig might get them. Piss all over. But you're going to shuffle the way that you feel comfortable shuffling and what is practical and logical to do, I would suggest. You want to protect the deck. So if you abuse it while you're shuffling, it's going to wear faster. The images will become shattered, scratched, non-legible. It's kind of disrespectful for an entity that you are communing with to treat it like crap, So something like that, you can consider that. Some people use jumpers. If you're a jumper reader, I'm not. I actually put them right back in the deck and keep on shuffling. I don't do jumpers. I say that. Occasionally I have, when I'm just like, okay, that was a crazy jump. It flipped through the air and landed in front of me, so I gotta read it now. It's like, you ever seen like hectic shuffling, like spasmodic? I don't know if I can do it. Okay, we got jumpers. So if I had been doing, oh no, that does make sense. So look at that, y'all. It's card 35 and card 36. This deck has been shuffled so many times because I read with it almost every day. I got summer solstice followed by sunbathing. And I have goosebumps. All right, that was kind of crazy. Well, we're going to leave those cards out. And when we finish, we will actually read those two cards in conjunction for what we're doing today. Oh my God, is my camera really? I can reach it. Is it broken? Look, I can see that. I don't know if my camera's broken. It's okay. So let's go ahead and talk about shuffling. We also have a way to shuffle. What you're gonna want to, I would suggest, pay attention to the way your cards are laying. If you don't shuffle reversals, make sure your cards are facing the same way. I have had to really think. My brain does not shift certain things, and it doesn't shift stuff like this. So when I look at my cards, I have to really pay attention that when I go to shuffle them, they're going to still be the same way. This is Ripple. If I can't see me, hear me? Think Vegas dealers, and then they push it together. But they might be real fancy and like do it like this, and the card, you know. Anyway, you can watch videos. Watch videos on shuffling. YouTube has one or two, and you're going to do it the way that you like doing it. You can do it differently every time. When I shuffle, I'll sometimes knock my cards. Some readers, whatever, knock. It doesn't matter how you do it. I knock to bring the energy up because when I'm shuffling, and this, oh, what did I do? Okay, now I'm gonna get obsessed. Okay, so this card was facing the wrong way. We're just gonna keep it out. I'm not reading us through cards. We'll be here all day. I might be reading us through cards because that's mermaid. Anyway, so what? Oh, there's another card that's facing the wrong way, like it's upside down. Earthcrafter. I'm not reading for it. Hold on. What is going on? Are there other cards like this? Let's just go ahead and sort that now. Is that upside down? Okay. 17, 24, 35, 36. 8, 6, 8, 9. 8, 6. 2, 2, 1. 5. I like doing the numbers. Okay, so I was thinking if there was a suggestion of a pattern. Not that I saw immediately. Reading is more than just the image on the card or the words in the guidebook. You can use numbers, just numbers, to read people. You can use the number on the card to determine the energy of another card that you'll pull in. You can take someone's birth date and give them an entire reading around it before they sit down in front of you. Numbers are exceptionally important. They're universal. Math is anyway, but I don't math, but it's a language. So what we're talking about with shuffling, I just want to keep impressing upon you. There's no wrong way to shuffle. However you want to do it, it's fine. It's what you're comfortable with. And you don't have to be like, I shuffle this way. Shuffle however you want. It's not really a deciding factor if someone's going to come to you to get a reading from you, I wouldn't think. And if someone comes to you and is like, I absolutely have to have you do the cards where you throw them in the air and pick them up, consider charging them a $40 service fee. You can still shuffle that way, just do it in a way that you're comfortable doing it. Charge them money. I mean this. Or take a moment to take a deep breath before you throw your cards in the air. You're the one shuffling. Find your way of being comfortable with it. You don't have to shuffle. No, you don't have to. I think that the reading might be somewhat limited unless you're working with a spread or a style of reading that requires the cards to be in order. By shuffling, we allow the story to unfold in multiple ways. Endless possibilities. I can read for you on the same question 6 times, shuffling each time, getting different cards most likely, and having something different to give you each time. So the randomness of the cards offers the possibilities that come forward. But again, if you're like, oh girl, no, they need to be in order, then make them in order. No one is stopping you except yourself. So go for it. You may find an entirely new way to read tarot. I welcome that. Bring it. Bring it to the table. You do this however you're comfortable doing this. Okay. Now, let me see. I have the different ways of shuffling because I asked ChatGPT how. I got like a kickback on that. I know AI is a hot topic. And I have had people ask me not to use AI. I don't use it in my reads, but if I'm like I went to AI and I said, what might people ask me about shuffling? Now, AI provided the questions. I'm giving the answers. This is me talking to you. This is not a response from AI that I'm simply filtering. Mash. It actually said mash, and sometimes AI makes up things. That's what I wanted to check. And I said, what is mash shuffling? So I'm finding it. Mash it. Mash. Similar to the riffle method, but instead of bending the cards, the two halves are simply pushed together from the corners. It's popular with sleeved cards because it minimizes bending. Okay. And then it says you can also do it by piles, make different piles, and then stack them back together. And mixing method, combining different styles of shuffling. Okay, got it. Okay. You can shuffle for as long as you like. When I started reading cards, I would get a sensation in my hands, sometimes even in my feet, and it would let me know that it was time to cut the cards. And then that's kind of faded out. I don't really get it anymore. So I still wait for it, and I knock. I'll knock my cards to help the energy come up. But sometimes I don't get the sensation in my hands, and I just cut it down. Now, again, it's up to you as a reader and your comfort, and you'll find this as you read, as you move through the cards and the days and the weeks and the months and the years of reading. You will develop your own style that will evolve. None of us are meant to be pigeonholed. Are you asking to be put in a corner and then pinned there? If you're not, then evolve. As you study the cards and yourself, you will find comfort in what you do and discomfort, dis-ease as well. Do not bring forward what makes you uncomfortable. If at all possible, leave it behind. You don't need it. Do what makes you comfortable. And it will take time, potentially, to find out what makes you comfortable. I'm really stressing that you have the power. All right, so that's how long should you shuffle? As long as you want. It really, if you're reading for yourself, you can shuffle for an hour and a half. I have absolutely been in Zooms, just listening to people talk. It's like a habit. I've definitely reached for my deck and just started shuffling. I've been doing this for so long. It feels good. It's very, I usually have a deck almost always in my purse or pocket. And you can buy pocket-sized decks. I have several. Oh, wait. Now that we have such a larger... Those are pocket size right there. Those are my sister decks. And my sister decks. And I use those with my mediumship practice as some of those. Different why. Mediumship and a why. All right, so let me see. And okay, I like this. This is good. Oh wait, these are great. What ChatGPT offered. If you are uncomfortable with ChatGPT to the point that you're questioning, continuing to listen to me, ask yourself where the discomfort is coming from and why it is affecting you in this way. How do you know when to stop? Does intention matter while shuffling? Fuck yes. Yeah. Okay, if you're shuffling because you have a question or your client does, and no, you don't need to have clients to be a reader. You can read just for yourself and be a reader. Readers read. Are you literate or illiterate? There's no one's going to ask you really what. How are you literate? Do you read more than 2 seconds a day? Because then if you don't, you're not. Readers are readers. Cards are not. Cards are words. You're readers. Look at they're fucking images. We're all readers. Some cards don't have any words at all. You don't need to be literate to the language to read the card. You can only speak French and read a Yugoslavian deck. Anyway, so okay, and so if you're sitting with a client and they're like, I'm wondering about my puppy dog, could you tell me, they have a runny nose and I'm concerned. I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, be thinking about something about the dog potentially, or vet care, whatever you want to think about. Go to that space in your head. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. As you read, you will develop your own particular way of doing things. And some things that other readers do, you'll never do. Or you'll do and realize this is not for you. Definitely. Just be open to being comfortable with what you're doing. If you are comfortable with what you are doing, you are more likely to return to the act. You will create a pattern of behavior, a reader. Okay, so let me see now. See, fuck. I forget what I'm talking about. And it's okay. If you're shuffling and you forget what you're talking about, including what the fucking question was, That's all right. I tend to write down the client's question because I do forget. You do you. While you are talking, okay, we're totally going off on another topic, but this is super important. While you are reading for your client, I'm going to use first person because I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just making a suggestion. I don't want to should you. I read for clients and I will say, so what's the puppy's name? Let's say Timmy, and it's in a well. This Timmy fell in the well, Lassie. Y'all get that? Anyway, Timmy's in the well. Oh, God, this is awful. Let's not talk about the puppy anymore. I can't do this. What's a good Sarah question? Oh my God, I have no idea. Anyway, whatever the client asks you or whatever you're thinking about, have it in your head in whatever way makes you feel comfortable. And if you're like, girl, I can't do that. That's too much shit going on at once. Then think of the color purple. That's a good book. Think of the color purple and go there. Think of sparkles. If you have aphantasia where you cannot imagine anything, then clairvoyance is probably not going to be a clair that you're going to be working with too much. Maybe go to your clairaudience. What are you hearing? What are you feeling on your skin? What are you tasting in your mouth? What are you smelling? These are all clairs, and there are many more. They're all going to help you read. Reading is not limited to the card, the book. I have definitely pulled cards before and gave a reading that had jack shit to do with the cards in front of me because it was intuitively based. It was channeled. Most readings, I believe, all my readings are channeled, and sometimes I will go into mediumship and then it's still channeling, but it's for me, that's when I think it's more like I know I'm here. I know I'm busy. When I channel, I don't always know I'm channeling. Okay, so should you shuffle after every question? Now, again, this is just my personal opinion, but this is a big one for me. I talk to my deck, and if I will say, like, I'll be like, today's a perfect example. I will shuffle my deck while I'm talking to my deck. There's no wrong way to do this to it, however you're comfortable doing it. And I'll be like, look, I'm gonna go on YouTube. I talk this like this to my deck. I'm gonna go on YouTube today to do a live, and we are gonna be talking about shuffling. So I would like to simply be able to pull cards consistently from you without reshuffling. Therefore, there's an understanding of intention and manifestation progresses. You do you. You do you. Whatever you find comfortable, that's what I suggest you do. Now that makes me comfortable. I will also stop. This makes me less comfortable, but I have done this. Say I'm pulling cards and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to ask the deck if it was okay not to shuffle. I'll be like, hand on deck, hand on Bible, hand on deck. Is it okay if I just continuously pull cards? Are you comfortable with that? It's really important, I think, to speak with my deck. I don't want to force anything or anyone. Have you been forced to do something that you didn't want to do? I don't want to do that to my deck. It's conversation and community. All right, so let's see. We talked about jumper cards. You guys can use those if you want. I mean, I know some readers that love them. They love them. They love them. I know some readers that'll use them if it happens. And then there's readers like me that I'm shoving that shit right back in the deck. Oh, we are not jumping in. Can another person shuffle your deck? Oh, wait. What kind of jump? Do cards that flip over carry an extra meaning? Only to you. If you as a reader put value on a card that flips over, it has value. If you as a reader puts value on a card that jumps out, it has value. If you as a reader puts value on a card that is in a physically reversed position, it has value. It is what you are doing as a reader that provides value. You are the barometer of value. What is too many cards to fall out? Now that's going to be up to you. If you're looking at like, well, I'm going to read a couple cards for myself, and 14 fall out. I would just pick 2 cards and put the other 14 back. I'm not going to be all worried about it. If you are like, no, I want to give every card a chance, I would lay them out, possibly face down, depends on how I'm feeling, and run my hand over them with the expressed intention of choosing 2 of the 14 that fell out. Do you see the intention? Do you see the intention? Do you hear it? You have this intention behind your action, so there's clarity in your function, manifestation. I run my hand over it and I wait and see what sensations I feel. Maybe you're more like a tipsy girl. Put your feet up there and do it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, get out. Okay, I love, what are these called? Hourglasses. Especially when they're sparkly. You could roll that one on the table where it's at and just be like, hey, put the language on that one. You can be like, oh man, I don't know. What do I got? I mean, I have stuff all over the place. But if you have little trinkets, which I know I do, I just can't seem to find any of my little bits, you drop them like charms and see where they land. If you also want to work with another modality, you could just pull charms. Here, let me show you this. This is really cute. This, where is it? I have got two. Okay, this is a little broken heart. So they have them whole. Can you see if that's a little heart? It's a little heart. It's a heart. Okay, it's a heart. So you could get a bunch of those. They also have coffins and skulls. All bunches of stuff. Stars and moons, I have those too. And you drop them, and they fall on the cards. Now, as a reader, maybe you're like, oh, I love that. I love that. Well, how can I do that and attract clients? You put out all 78 fucking cards, that might attract somebody. And then you drop your charms. You only drop the amount of charms that you know that the max you're going to read with. Excuse me. So if you don't want to read with more than 9 cards, you put out your 78. It's a big table. Keep in mind, 78 cards, grand tableau, which is actually a Lenormand term, but all of your referencing, using all of your cards, you're going to want a big enough space and only the amount of charms that you want to read from. Now, not every charm is going to hit a card, depending on how tightly the cards are packed. But do you see, you get to choose how to do this. You do this however you're comfortable doing it. And you can do stuff on the fly. These cards are so fun. Oh, guys, this is Seasons of the Witch. Check out my other lives. I read with this deck constantly. This is Lorraine Anderson and Julia Diaz. And then this deck for Vika, that's the pagan holiday that we're in right now, is Tajana Lukovic. The last deck, we just came out of Beltane. Why do I feel like it wasn't Beltane? I'm pretty sure we just came out of Beltane as a pagan holiday. That was Giada Rose. So they do use different, not use, get in the closet, I'm a creature of death. They do employ different artists. So if you get a deck and you're like, oh my god, I love this, I'm going to get the rest of the series. I personally check to make sure that the illustrator is the same illustrator because you're going to get an entirely different deck. Chances, maybe. Now, Giada Rose and Tajana Lukovic are not identical. They definitely have style and substance of their own that is unique to them. But there are similarities in the artwork so that I appreciate both of the artists' endeavors. Just really talented. I'm getting over it. This is like the last of this cold. So I'm cold. Can another person shuffle your deck? Before COVID, that was pretty much the standard. I'm a COVID reader. So I started reading just before COVID. I started reading about a year before COVID. But I still consider myself coming in with that wave of people. And before we had COVID and the lockdown, before we had the era of time that we refer to as having had COVID, however you want to view whatever was happening in the world, we readers would pass their deck over because this is how you read. You didn't get to do the Zoom or the YouTube. You had to book a client, find a space, show up in person, spend that much more time not getting paid. Check it out. You got to drive. You're not getting paid for that. You know, actually, I would seriously charge, but I do charge mileage if I travel, so you consider charging mileage. But all this stuff. So you typically get, oh yeah, cut the deck. Whatever we're doing. Oh, pull a card, whatever. No, you don't need to do that. And even if you are in person, because I love reading at fairs. I do fairs. And I still don't let them touch my deck. Because I don't know where those hands have been. Y'all, think about where might those hands have been. No, they're not going to touch my deck. So that's okay. Because it's my deck. And they can go get their own. No, but seriously, no. Plus, I don't know. I really like my decks. I like communing with them. I like the energy. Oh, fuck it up. So I don't think you can fuck it up. I should clarify that. I was kind of kidding. It's like nothing is going to turn the deck bad or evil, you know? So if the deck survives a house fire, it just means that it survived the house fire and you still have your deck. It's not like some, like the deck warded off fire. I don't know. I'm just trying to be very clear here. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but the deck itself is not evil. I do believe the deck carries energy and presence. Therefore, I believe it also carries cognizance and understands threat and would keep threat away, just like I would. So I think it's safe. All right. How do you shuffle oversized cards or awkward decks to the best of your ability? I talked about the round deck for Kim Cran's for her archetype deck. Her alchemical deck has 6 or 8 sides. 6 sides. So that's a little bit awkward too. You find a way. You do it in the best way that you can. You avoid decks that are awkward. If you are very much, I just want to do a really simple shuffle, then avoid the awkward shaped decks. Avoid the oversized decks. Does shuffling clear a deck? If you believe that it clears a deck, then yes, it clears a deck. Your intention is everything. Now, when I store my when I have all my cards in their boxes, but I also have crystals everywhere, and typically you'll find crystals on my boxes, and the crystals get moved around. That's one thing to keep the dust and the cobwebs from forming because they form quick. It's also to keep that energy moving as well. So there's a practical side and a metaphysical side. What do you do when the deck feels out of sync? I have definitely had experiences, very rare, where I wasn't able to really pick up the energy of the deck or read it. I've gotten a different deck. I've been like, you know what? I'm gonna get a different deck. I try to have more than one deck. If I'm doing client reads, I definitely have. I have my fave decks, but I will probably have a backup. Probably, maybe. But the thing is, if you're taking money, then be prepared. Already have your system in place, or charge very little. If you're a beginner, you can swap readings or charge less than what the going rate is because you're still learning and disappointing or keeping your client happy. It's going to affect the reading. You can also consider free readings in the very beginning just to kind of get your feet under you. Should Oracle and Tarot decks be shuffled differently? No, I don't think so. I don't. I shuffle them the same because it's your intention. What are you attempting to manifest? What question do you have on your mind that you're attempting to clarify? How has your own shuffling style changed over time? Personally, it's that I'm very open to what's happening and I'm the one in control and I know that. And my reads are represented by that knowledge. Okay. Okay, I think this is it. This is my first live that, well, I've done a lot of lives, and they all flow through Zoom because of I do my meetups. So you can find me at meetup.com. Again, I will edit the, I'm telling myself, I will edit this description, I will remember, and I will drop those links in. However, oh, wait. Can I drop it right here? Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh. Okay, here you go. Here. Now let's see. I don't know how this works. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. It's not letting me do it. I was trying to. Okay, I did not realize that they don't have the character count and it is very low. So let me try to grab this one more time. What am I even grabbing now? This time for that. Meetup. I want you guys to hear. Here it is right here. Find me on Meetup. If you go to Meetup and this comment makes it through after the lives, then Okay, there we go. So those are my two meetup links. And then you are on my YouTube channel because we're sitting here talking. And then I do have Marco Polo links when we chat in the future if you guys want those. I guess I could drop those. If you are on Marco Polo, you can subscribe to my shares on there, and many of those shares are found on YouTube. Pretty much all of them. YouTube actually has additional content over what my shares have, because this is not running through my share on Marco Polo. But if you're on Marco Polo, you can find me Willow Tarot. I don't know. I think you might need the link. Let me grab it real quick. This is iced chocolate milk. All right, here's my share cast. So Marco Polo is a free. I'm a monotone. Hold on, guys. All right, that's my share cast. Oh, that's why it was in character count. All right, fuck it, whatever made it. All right, if you want to join me on Marco Polo, you're welcome to. It's a free video messaging app. You just get like a little. You could, if you don't pay for the upgrade, you can't shut your camera off, but you can get a little camera slide. Put it right in your phone. Oh, that phone right there. That was it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. And I am looking forward to doing consistently more lives and having you guys join me. I'm also going to start listing my lives on Meetup so that we can have a place and time to meet and chat. We'll see how it works. We'll have a different topic each time, and I hope that I see you again soon and that these links all make it to you. And all right, guys, that was it. If there's any additional questions on shuffling, I'm not sure how you'll get them to me, but if I see them, I will answer them. And in the streams themselves, I welcome questions. We can see how it goes. All right, you guys are fabulous. I hope I see you again very soon, and I'll say goodbye. Bye, guys.